Doris has done an interview, and this one, it's gonna be a crazy one, because this time she really went for this man's neck. Like she went for the neck. She went for the jack right there. Cut straight. I don't know how else to put it, but I want to state something. You see, in the first video that I highlighted concerning Doris' situation and Pastor Chris Okafor, I mentioned it's the evils. She says it's the evils that they got involved in. Okay, and I said, you see, when a person implicates themselves in that, they're not trying to look all innocent and all that kind of stuff. It's because they really is something. When you cause someone to believe wickedness and evil things, and that they are now realizing what it is you have brought them to because you are wicked, causes problems. And this is why, over the last couple of years, God has been cleaning. He's cleaning. He is cleaning. The interview that Doris did, I'm going to leave it, the full episode down in the pinned comment, is loaded, jam-packed. Some parts of this, I'm only going to play the trailer. I'll come back possibly with the full interview, a breakdown on certain details, but here I want to only deal first with just the trailer and the things that she mentions in the trailer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She mentions 5 things in the trailer that I will be looking out for when I go to watch the full episode. It's the reality show with daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes done today be down in the pinned comments, and let's go and listen to what Doris was saying in this interview, just the trailer, and I'll be back here to give a breakdown.
Chris is a scammer. People should know. He works with, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. It's verifiable. He's the person in charge of that case. It's Omaka. He works with NCCC. They say it's Interpol that came to arrest him. Chris used his account to collect money from fraudsters. Church account. They paid $60,000. When they paid the money, the people agreed 10% with Chris Okafor. When the money landed, Chris became greedy and collaborated the money for himself. The people got angry and went to report to police, Interpol. When they reported to Interpol, Interpol invited him. Panic is understatement. He locked the door. They come, please call your Ogala. They are downstairs in the church. They want to embarrass me. Call your Ogala. I had to call people I know to help intervene and stop the arrest that he was going to come. That was how they stopped.
So that was how that case died?
No.
So what you're saying is that Chris is what Yahoo boy they call these people? No, you got another name where Yahoo boy. Azaman.
Who is he leaving me for after all the atrocities that we have committed? Me and him. I'm not saying it in a place of love. That is the misunderstanding. Everybody is saying, oh, move on. It's not about love for me. It's about pain. I was the confusion that Jeremiah said he sent to their midst. Because one time Jeremiah came out and said, I have sent confusion in their midst. I was the confusion. So I was listening to everybody.
So you've been the Holy Spirit and now you're also confusion.
Yes. He gave me 10 million. Remaining 35 million. They said I should take 15 million and leave 20 million. I said, we had that argument. They said, they paid 15 million to me through the brother.
So this is how they used to be sharing our tithe money.
DSS, they should go to that church and open that altar. Open his altar. I won't say further than that. When they were building that place collapsed. Somebody died. But apart from somebody dead, there's a blogger that found something on the ground. This man was begging, called me, said, what do I give to this blogger to close his mouth? The DSS should go and open that altar. I know what I'm saying. That's all I will say.
The church altar.
The church altar where he used to stand, that pulpit, they should dig it up and open it.
Good afternoon. So, it's a lot. Now, I want to just highlight the 5 things that she mentions in there that I'll be looking to see more details. I've only played the intro first here. We'll be back with the full one. The first thing is the scammer part. She gives a specific thing there. She gives a specific detail. She states the amount of money that was transferred by a certain group of guys who had done some scheming or whatever it is, and this money was transferred. She even states what account it was stated. It was the church account. It was $60,000, and these guys went to report. You see, that is something that is investigatable and findable. When a person becomes this specific, they know what they are talking about. They know what they are talking about. Okay? That's a particular transaction, she's saying. $60,000, about almost over $1 million rands, was done, where he was the intermediate. He was the azaman, as the host calls him. And azaman is a person who is the one who collects the money for scammers. So meaning he uses a different account in order to receive money, and then, is supposed to share it with the people that he thinks. So by this year, this is not a foreign method. This particular style of money laundering is very popular, where you find churches and organizations that are used as shell organizations in order to hide the dubious means that they are supposedly doing. And in this case, Doris says there is something that he plays a role in as an azaman. Now, the Winlows have done a film, okay, and not necessarily that they were hinting at him or anything, but the Winlows have done a film, and in this film that the Winlows did, they show a case. I think it was about a year ago, if I'm not wrong, where they did a film showcasing pastors that were assisting scammers. It was called a holy scam, and you see the pastor praising the scammers that he was working with and whatnot, and that entire whole church. The film that they did was about last year, if I remember very, very well. And it was a massive film, that they did. It didn't have as much shine as the other ones that they did, but now you have a reference for it. This was the film up here. You can go and look it up on the Winlows channel, where scammers were protected by churches that protect scammers. This thing is there. This thing is there. So that is the first thing that they highlight there. Now, she mentions pertaining that issue that there was now Interpol that was now involved, and unfortunately for the case, she knew people. You see, she's not leaving herself out. She knew people who could defuse it. She even states who was handling the case. That's direct, live and direct. So right there, Doris has made extremely scathing blows. A lot of people, of course, they are talking about, she's just crashing out. But you see, in my first episode, I mentioned it's because of the evil things that she has probably done, how far she has gone in wickedness that she partook with this individual. That's why she was probably doing that. That he was panicking, and someone was called and diffused the situation of the Interpol. That's a very investigatable thing. It's a serious accusation. Number 2 thing that she mentions, she says that there are evil atrocities that they did together. This is number 2 that she mentions. She mentions that, and which goes back to the point that I made previously, and also on the first episode when we were talking about this thing. I said this thing, it's a classic example of how false doctrine from another person can affect you to a point where you have no identity your own apart from the evil stuff that you are thinking. You are literally intertwined into their wickedness. She mentions that point there. Now, there is something that I'm not clear on. I'm going to try and seek clarity in the interview, where she mentions 15 million, that there was a transaction of 15 million which was being transferred from another fake pastor into an account, and there she mentions the brother And she says that was the issue. So I'm wondering now if this is the thing that she mentioned previously when she said there was an issue between her and her brother and it was about money. So I'm wondering if that's it, because she then mentioned previously that that thing, he went and did something. So you see now it attaches all the blots are now touching. All the dots are touching. That there was this money that was transferred and was about 15 million. So when I go to the interview, I will be looking to see clarity concerning that part. But she did mention that this was a thing. And interesting enough, she mentions that after stating their evil things they did and partook, the two of them. Then she mentions Jeremiah Omoto for fame. Jeremiah, she mentions him in the term of the story about the missing child, a child who went missing at his church, was being investigated, prophets was talking about it, what. And there were people that were just tossing that story all over the place. I didn't touch the story because I could tell the story had too much interference. So I didn't touch the story. Because to me, the story had just too much interference. Now Doris clarifies. There was interference because there was all these narratives. And I think I want to give a warning here for people that watch a lot of Christian exposure content. Be very careful. There's a lot of people in that space who are paid. They live the type of lifestyles that they live because they are paid. They are paid media. So when a story it's out there and you'll just hear someone come up with their own story. You're like, but what is this? What story is this? They just come, they tell you their own fanciful stories and dismiss every single thing out of the story. So that's why I never covered that story, because for me, I could tell the story had too much interference from all sides. So now she's confirming there was an interaction between her and Jeremiah where she was sent to cause confusion in the story. She's saying herself. She's not saying, oh no, there was this person. No, she's pointing herself. And I can tell you that this fake pastor, they love doing this thing of sending this type of people that look like they're legit. They're just there to cause confusion in the story and in the narrative. That's a very important point that she mentioned there. And it said that a woman had lost a child, and he was more careful to be going out there sending propaganda information. He was not interested in resolving the issue. He was more interested in causing confusion in the story. It's absolutely mental. It's kind of like the PDD, it's the whole thing. The man has serious charges. He doesn't care about the evil and correcting his wrongs. What he cared about was getting the biggest media and propaganda person. When you listen to those videos that came out, as we mentioned last time. The last thing that she mentions there is, it's this point about a blogger and a dead person in the altar of Chris Okafor. Now that one, I'm very much interested in hearing what she was talking about there. Because when she mentioned that you see now, she places a certain thing concerning Chris. Now we will be watching. If Chris has any renovations, our eyes are on you. Our eyes are on you, Chief. And may the journalists keep their eyes on you. Their eyes should be right there, right there. He mentions that there is something attached to Chris Okafor's church. See, this is why people, no matter how much exposure happens around these people, people don't leave. Something is wrong there. Something is attaching them there. Then she says a blogger found something. I wonder who that is. I wonder who that is. And that person, now that this information is now left, you see, if this person was paid, okay, which a lot of times they do, by the way, yeah, bloggers go out there, they find information, then they will go back to these pastors and use that information to get paid. Very dangerous business that they get. Most people are not interested in truth. Don't be deceived. Not everyone is interested in truth. They will go out there, you get information, and go to the pastor and say, I have this information. Are you going to pay me or what? And so now she says a blogger found it. That's placing another person with evidence that she is stating. That's a serious thing. Doris got receipts. Doris got receipts. Doris now reminds me of J. Israel in the beginning. J. Israel was not just talking. J. Israel was firing shots and presenting evidence, bringing what? What you think Doris doing? She's literally saying there's another person who actually knows it. There was this transaction issue. This is where my issue started with this issue. So there is a lot of things she mentioned here which are not things to be dismissed. There's a lot of things that have been stated here that are not things to be dismissed. Now, I did see that there's a new video where she was supposedly live with someone, and the police might have. I'll look into that one. As of the time, as I'm stating it now, I've only seen the clip on Notion Scoop on Facebook. If it gets confirmed further, then we'll talk about that, because now that would mean the head honchos of charlatans are now on the move, and they must know we are watching them. Because they play, in Nigeria you're not safe. In Nigeria you are worse. Past the person can send police to come arrest you. Like it's a very funny system over there. It's a very funny system. A person who has money can just get anybody arrested and what. It's a very weird system. And so I'll give you an update concerning that. But what she mentioned here, serious stuff. She doesn't distance herself. She shows you what she knows, how far she was from the information. She puts people's names right in the story. And so this has gotten as messy can get. Strict Reality Show with daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes are going to be down in the pinned comments. It's about to get dark, boys. So if you had shades on, you can take off your shades now. If you had shades on, you can take off your shades. It's going to be very bright. Like the room will get bright very quickly. You won't even have time for your eyes to adjust. So get your glasses off. It's about to get crazy. I'll give you the updates as things continue, and I will watch the full interview so that I can understand some of the other details that she mentioned. She was talking there, she had her phone. Yeah, the information is coming with accuracy. She's detailing. Expose. It's Ricky. I'll see you later.